When my parents made a family tree for my niece's school project, they left me out like I never exist. I asked why. My mom said, "We didn't want to confuse her with someone who doesn't belong." My brother added, "It's just easier to pretend you're not part of it." I stand up and said, "If asterisk CK, you both keep cutting me out, but don't cry when your shit falls apart," and left. 2 years later, I did something that ruined everything for them. Now they're calling me non-stop. "Please, we were wrong." So I'm not sure where to even start with this. I don't really post on here, but I've been lurking on r/ relationship advice. And I am at the assault for years and on. I always thought people were exaggerating some of their stories for drama. But now I'm sitting here in my car outside my parents' place typing this with like shaky hands, yeah, whatever. And I'm actually wondering if I'm overreacting or if my family is just actually this cold anyway. Here's what happened to me. It's not even the actual big event, but it's the thing that snapped everything for me. So for context, I'm Bryce, 28, oldest son, and TBH. I've always been the weird one in my family, not in a cool, quirky way, just like I never really clicked with my parents. Mom = Lillian, dad = Thomas, or my younger brother. William Will is the golden child, everything is about him. Holidays, birthdays, whatever, I'm used to it. I don't even get mad about it anymore. It's just background noise at this point. I show up for stuff, keep my mouth shut, try to avoid drama. So my niece Paisley, she's 8, Will's daughter, had the school project family tree stuff, making a poster with pics and names. And all that. My mom texted me a week ago asking if I could come help out since I'm good with computers, and Paisley likes me more than the rest of them, which is probably true because I actually talk to her like she's a person anyway. I show up, Paisley's there with her markers, glue, and a bunch of printed photos. My mom got off everyone's social, it's all pretty norm. But then I'm looking at the poster just to see how she's laying it out, and I noticed something weird, like the tree just skips me. It's got my parents at the top, then a line to William and his wife Adelaide, then Paisley and her little brother. There's no me anywhere, not a photo, not even my name. I kind of laugh at first like, haha, good one, did you offer forget me? Very funny. I say it out loud, not shouting or anything, expecting them to say, "Oh whoops, let's add you in," whatever, except my mom just gives me this look, not even guilty, just blank. She shrugs and says it's more straightforward this way, less confusing for Paisley. I'm like, what's confusing? She knows I'm her uncle. She literally calls me Uncle Bryce, my dad's in the kitchen, and doesn't say anything, just keeps scrolling on his phone. Will's at the table. He chimes in like it's just easier to keep things simple for her. And it's not like you're really around anyway. Now here's the thing, I don't live that far away. I'm in the same city. I see Paisley and the family more than any of their other friends or relatives. Do I go to birthdays? I've picked her up from school. I've even babysat while Will and Adelaide were at some wedding, so I just stare them for a sec because I genuinely can't tell if this is some inside joke I'm not getting or if they're being serious. My mom doubles down. She goes, it's not personal, it just doesn't make sense to add someone who doesn't really belong in the core family. And when I ask what that even means, he starts getting annoyed, saying, "I always make things about myself." She stands up and starts cleaning up the kitchen like she's done talking, will sit back in his chair and just looks at me like I'm the one making it awkward. I don't even know how to describe what that feels like I'm standing there and my old house looking at a poster where I don't exist. And everyone's acting like it's totally normal. Paisley hears us and comes over asking where my picture is supposed to go. My mom tells her not to worry about it, she'll explain later. I try to keep my cool because I don't want to make Paisley upset, but I can't just let it go, not after years of being left out of group texts, not getting invites until the last minute, hearing about family news from random Facebook posts. I say, "So I'm just not family to you?" And Will says, "Look, you're always off doing your own thing. Everyone knows you don't really fit in here." So I snap. I stand up, push my chair back so hard it hits the wall, and tell them, and I'm not proud of this, but I was done. I tell them to go of themselves, keep erasing me, but not to come crying when their whole perfect little world falls apart. My mom turns red and tells me to get out if I'm going to talk like that in front of Paisley. I walk past her, grab my jacket, slam the door on my way out. I hear her yell my name, but I'm already halfway down the driveway. I sat in my car for like 10 minutes just scrolling on my phone, trying not to text anyone because I didn't want to sound like I was whining. I almost called a friend, but IDK. It felt lame. Instead, I just started going through all the little things, all the times I'd been the backup plan, the afterthought. It's not like this was new, but seeing it in black and white, or I guess in poster board and glue, just made it real in a way I couldn't ignore anyway. I texted my mom later and said, "You know what, you made your choice, don't ask me for anything." Again, she left me on read while sent me a text basically saying I was overreacting. And to grow up, I didn't reply. So yeah, that's where it's. That I'm not sure what happens next. I'm pissed, obviously. But also kind of relieved, like, if they want me gone so bad, maybe it's time I show them what that actually looks like, I guess. I'll see how long it takes for them to notice what happens when the person they don't need just disappears. And yeah, I'm not letting this go, not this time. Will update, if anyone update one. So I didn't think I'd actually come back here and update. But on G's, some of these replies and messages made me realize I'm not as alone as I thought. Thanks for that far. Anyway, buckle up, because the last couple months have been a whole new level of, wait, am I the crazy one? And I'm not even sure where the line is between petty and justified at this point. So, after the whole family tree, or he slashed poster slash erased from existence thing, I kind of just stopped talking to them, like hard stop. Didn't block anyone, but no replying to tags, skipped the next family dinner, turned down any last minute come watch Paisley soccer game stuff. My dad texted me once with a thumbs up iMovie, which I DK is pretty much how is always handled car conflict. My mom tried once to call, but hung up after 2 rings. William didn't even do that, just posted some fake deep family is everything meme on his Facebook and tagged everyone except me. Whatever, here's the part that got interesting. So my family's always had this thing where I do all the tech stuff for them, like I set up their Wi-Fi, I handle their Netflix, fix their phones, update their laptops, all that, but also their little side hustle. Not going to say what it is, but it's nothing cool, trust me. I set up their web stuff, keep up with emails, help with online payments, all the boring stuff they refuse to learn. It's not paid, it's just you're good with this, help your family. I've probably spent more time for fixing their crap than hanging out with them as actual people. So after they made it clear I'm not family, I just stopped. Didn't answer when my dad called about his phone, not thinking, didn't update their website when it started showing errors. When my mom texted about why did the card payment bounce, I left her on read. At first it was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie, I figured someone else would pick it up. But now weeks go by and the website is still down, emails bounce, stuff just start piling up. Then my mom called, actually called, which she never does unless there's a number. She sounded annoyed, like I was slacking off on chores or something. She goes, we need your help. The site is broken, your dad can't log in. I don't understand why you're ignoring us. I told her, you say I'm not family, so go ask William. She hung up. Next day, I get a text from William, just seriously grow up. I ignored it. Next thing I know, Adelaide, William's wife, is damming me on Instagram asking if I can just fix things for Paisley's sake because the businesses, how they pay for her activities. I didn't answer. Couple weeks later, I hear from a mute, your friend, that my parents are complaining about me at some party, saying I've abandoned them and left them in the lurch. I guess their social circle always thought I was the good son for dealing with their stuff. So now they're getting questions about why nothing's working. I get a text from my mom again, this time actually apologizing, but in that way where it's more about how hard things are for her, not about what they did. She says it's not too late to fix things, if I just help her out, and family should stick together. I told her, if you want my help you can pay me like you'd pay anyone else. She sent a long reply about how family shouldn't ask for money, it's selfish, I'm being cruel, blah blah blah. I sent her my rates anyway. She never replied. Meanwhile, William tried to fix the site himself. I could see he changed the password because I got a notification. Then a day later, I got an email from the hosting service saying the account was locked for suspicious activity. I laughed so hard on nearly choked on my coffee. Then Adelaide called me, actually called, and said William was stressed out and I was being childish for not stepping in. I told her, I'm just doing what your family wanted. She started crying and hung up. At this point, stuff started breaking down for real. The payments stopped going through, their emails started bouncing, and the regular started texting me because my number was still on the site. Oh, I told anyone who asks that I wasn't involved anymore. Paisley School sent home a form for some online fundraiser thing, and apparently Adelaide couldn't log. After I slammed the door next day, I got a long message from my mom about violence in the family and how I needed to apologize for God escalating things. I didn't bother replying. I know this all sounds petty, but honestly, I'm just done being the free labor I spent years picking up after them, making everything work, never getting a thank you, just a shrug or, that's your job, you're the tech guy. They always treated me like the spare part, not the main event. Even as a kid, it was always William's way or nothing. He was the normal one, the one they could brag about. I was just a weird older brother who listened to music they didn't like and wore hoodies to family dinners. I think the thing that kills me is how fast they went from you're not family to why aren't you her. That's like, which is it? Am I the invisible guy? or the only one who can save your ass, and every time I set a boundary they act like I'm the unreasonable one. I still get texts from Adelaide every few days, always about Paisley, like I'm supposed to care. More about her than about myself. I do care about Paisley, but I'm not her parent, and I'm not going to get walked over just because my brother can't figure out how email. I haven't seen them in person since William tried to get in my face. I blocked him on everything after that. I know they're talking about me to everyone. One of my cousins messaged me on Snapchat asking if everything was okay, said my mom has been saying I'm having a hard time and acting out. I just told her I'm fine, just busy. IDK if she believes me. But whatever, anyway, I get the feeling this is just the start. If they think I'm coming back just because things are hard, they're in for a rude awakening. I'm not the family dog they can kick out and expect to do tricks when it's convenient. And if they want to see what it's like without me, going to make damn sure they get the full experience. Will update to all right. So I didn't expect part 2 to get as much attention as it did, but I guess misery. He loves company or whatever, and some of the all are wild with the DMZ. Shout out to the guy who sent me a meme of a burning family tree dead as I said I'd update. So here's what's happened since. Buckle up, this got messier than I thought I could. TBH, so the weird part started like not with some big blow up, but just a bunch of little things. First thing I noticed was how nobody from my family reached out for like a month straight. Usually, even if we're fighting, my mom will send a "hope you're eating" text or whatever. Nothing. I figured they were mad, but TBH, I was relieved. Then I started getting weird calls from numbers I didn't know. Turns out when you start fixing everyone's messes, they got to start asking for help in the wild. My cousin Aria Carr, old saying my mom had been asking around if anyone could reset the website or whatever, or years useless with tech. So she just told him to call a pro. Then I heard from a guy I went to high school, not a close friend, just someone who's always been a bit of a gossip. He said he was at a party where my dad was complaining about kids these days not respecting family and how the business was under attack. I'm not even kidding, like I'm some hacker. Something my dad always does. This blames everyone but himself. Classic Thomas. Anyway, I let it roll off. Here's where it got real. My mom called me up out of nowhere, didn't even say hi, just started in about how they're getting late notices and threats from the bank, and did I do something to the business accounts. I told her straight, I haven't touched anything you told me. I'm not family. Remember, she got quiet. Then she asked if I'd at least talk to William because he was stressed. I said no. She hung up. Next thing I know, I'm getting texts from William saying I'm ruining everything and I need to fix what I broke. I didn't break anything, I just stopped being their insurance policy. So back round for people asking. My parents refinanced their house to float the business a couple years ago. I found that out because my mom bragged about taking a risk for the future. They always thought everything would sort itself out because that's how it's always been. To bail them out, patch things up, and they'd move on. Not this time now. They're actually feeling the heat. Adelaide, William's wife, try again, this time showing up at my place with Paisley toe. Paisley handed me a drawing of us at the park, and Adelaide just stood in the hall, not even pretending to be chill, asking if I could just make a few calls so the payments start going through again. She said Paisley was scared they'd have to move. I told her I'm not the one who made things this way. Adelaide started crying again and tried to get in my face about family never turning their back. I just closed the door. Paisley kicked it hard, and Gil, that stung a bit, but I didn't open it again. Then William started getting nasty. He left a voicemail saying if I didn't fix things, everyone would know what kind of selfish piece of trash I was. I didn't even bother replying. Couple days later, I saw the groceries. He tried to accidentally bump into me, then started yelling about how I was destroying the family. People stared. I told him to leave me alone, and when he wouldn't, I pushed his cart out of the way. He slapped my hand and said I was dead to him. I just walked out. The next week, my mom sent a group text me, William, Adelaide, my dad, basically begging for help, saying the bank was calling non-stop and they were at risk of losing everything. I replied, you made your choice, deal with it. My dad called and left a voicemail threatening to take legal action if I didn't restore the business. I laughed so hard I played it back for a friend. He has no idea how any of it works. The only reason they had anything running was because of me. I didn't touch a thing, but I wasn't about to help them now. So at this point, their social circles started noticing. A couple people they know from their little community group started reaching out to me asking if I was okay because my mom was telling everyone I'd gone off the deep end. Told them I was fine, just not involved anymore. I guess the word started spreading because suddenly my parents stopped posting happy fam Lee stuff online. No more group pics, no look at Paisley's new soccer trophy. I think people started putting two and two together. One day I went by their place to pick up some old stuff. They'd been donating my things without asking, so I figured I'd better grab what was left. My dad was outside yelling into his phone saying something about how can you do this to us, and we're not bad people. He saw me hung up and just glared, didn't say a word. I went and grabbed my boxes and left. My mom tried to stop me, literally grabbed my arm and started crying. But I just pulled away. She slapped me hard and said I was breaking her heart. I told her you broke mine. For after that I started hearing from family friends, not close ones, but people who know us enough to gossip. They were asking what was going on, why my mom was so upset, why William looked like he hadn't slept in a week. I told them the truth. I used to help them because I thought that's what family did. But they made it clear I'm not family, so I'm done. Some people took my side, some didn't. That's life. Now here's the part that really got me. I found out from a mutual friend that my parents had tried to get a loan to cover the business problems, but got denied because of missed payments and bad credit. They always assumed I'd patch things up before it got this far. William apparently tried to fix the website again and ended up getting them locked out of their main account. They can't access any of their customer info now. Adelaide posted a long rant on Facebook about loyalty and betrayal without using my name. But everyone who knows us knew exactly who she meant. It's weird because I thought I'd feel bad watching all this fall apart. But honestly, I don't know, after how they treated me, not after years of being the backup plan, the fixer, one who's always too much or not enough for whatever story they're telling. I'm just tired. William tried to. One last time he showed up at my door at midnight banging and yelling until a neighbor came out and told him to shut up or they'd call the cops. He left after that. I blocked him everywhere. I guess he finally got the message now. It's just waiting there. Desperate, and for once I'm not the one scrambling to fix it. I know it sounds harsh, but honestly I hope they sit with it for a while. Maybe next time they'll think twice before arresting someone just because they don't fit their perfect story. And honestly, I'm not even done. If they want to see what real consequences feel like, I'm ready to take it further apart for soon. Final update. So yeah, it's been I thought maybe after my last update things would just kind of fizzle out, but instead it's like every day I'm hearing about I'm new meltdown at my parents' place. If you told me 2 years ago that I'd be getting spammed with desperate calls from people who once said I didn't belong, I'd have laughed in your face. But here we are, buckle up. So it really hit me that things were different. The week my mom texted me again at like 3 and I was up playing on my Switch, totally ignoring my phone. But she kept calling, so eventually I just blocked the number. Next day I wake up to like 20 missed calls, voicemails, even a couple emails titled urgent. Not even trying to be subtle. I guess the bank stuff finally caught up with them because my cousin Aria texted me